Hello, Coach. My name is Brad Wymer. I am the throws coach at Solon High School, which is in Solon, Iowa. This is my 21st year of coaching track and field in the state. And during the course of those 21 years, I've had the privilege of having the opportunity to work with 18 state champions, 9 state runners-up, and 12 Drake Relays champions. The Drake Relays would be similar to the Penn Relays or the Texas Relays. We have a special invitation for the top 24 athletes in each of the respective throws, shot put and discus here in Iowa. A little bit about our training environment here in Iowa. There's an old saying that if you don't like the weather in Iowa, wait 48 hours and it will change. Of course, that is going to create lots of issues and needs for flexibility throughout the course of the season. Our season begins right around Valentine's Day, February 14th, somewhere in that neighborhood. And here in Iowa, we almost always still have quite a bit of snow on the ground. It is cold. Last year it was exceptionally cold across our area, and even worse this year, the way it's shaken out. So most of our training has to happen indoors. So there's a little bit about our environment as far as our early season goes. As the year progresses, typically we have pretty wet springs, and then usually by May, the month of our state qualifying meets, our championship season, state championships, things are shaping up pretty nicely. But we've got a long period of time in there where flexibility with training is the key. So our total season is 14 weeks long, but I coach at a relatively small high school, and we have a lot of multi-sport athletes. So our basketball and wrestling seasons are generally finishing up the regular season about a week after Valentine's Day. So our season has been going for approximately a week, and we still have our wrestling seasons and our basketball seasons still taking place. Because I coach both boys and girls throwers, this creates another need for some flexibility with how the beginning of the season is handled. A good side of that is that because they're multi-sport athletes, at least the majority of my throwers are multi-sport athletes, they have had a lot of cross-training. And I'll mention that probably at some point in time as we get into the specific week-by-week development, that you see a lot of programs where there is this relatively lengthy athlete development phase where you're trying to work on core strength and lateral movement and vertical jumps and just athlete development types of skills. And I feel that a lot of the athletes that I'm working with have already been doing that for the previous couple of months in their winter sport. So the start of our season gets a little bit rocky with bodies coming from their respective winter sport. For the girls' shot put, of course, that'd be girls' basketball. They're going to try to make that transition while some of the other athletes are already going. 9th and 10th graders are generally done a week or two earlier than the varsity is finished up with their season, which works out really well because, of course, these are the athletes that are in need of some more of the fundamental development in terms of technique and just general philosophy of what we're trying to get accomplished. So it is an advantage in that it gives me some more one-on-one time or one-on small group time with those younger athletes. The season goals that I have coming into each and every season, number one is to have fun. This is a high school sport. I try not to take myself too seriously, even though I have an incredible passion for the throws. The athletes that I work with understand that I have a passion for the throws, but I've got to keep in mind that it is a high school sport and they should have fun. There needs to be some balance in their lives. And so we'll do some things throughout the course of the season to try to have some fun with it. We'll do some barbecuing. I'll bring my grill from home and we'll grill hot dogs and hamburgers as a part of practice, maybe even a couple times a year. We'll play some ultimate frisbee. We will do dodgeball. We'll do some things, especially during the indoor season because we are inside during that time. to try to make it a little bit more enjoyable. Second goal is to become better athletes, competing in a different environment than what maybe their number one sport might be, and realizing that they can be successful at it if they work hard at it. But that general weight room time, moving differently in our sport than they move in other sports, helps them to become a better athlete as well, not just from the competitive side, but truly from the athleticism point. Improvement every day. We want to get better, at least a little bit better every single day. Of course, as a coach, you understand that, but trying to get the athletes to internalize that concept and walk away from practice feeling like they got better, and more importantly, walking into practice each day with a goal. And lastly, the big goal that I have is for these athletes to understand that they're part of a 4-year plan. That with a technical event like the shot put, of course the discus as well, that you can't expect to get instant gratification necessarily, that it can be a really slow, drawn out, methodical process, that by the end of your freshman year you have to look back at where you were at in February, early March and say, hey, I got better. And when you're a senior, hopefully you're standing on the medal stand receiving the reward for your work that you have done over the past 4 years. Hopefully they're there when they're a junior, but certainly we kind of expect it to be the case when they are a senior, if they have the attributes that are necessary to get them there. So there's a brief introduction. As we move into future weeks, I'll be breaking down in hopefully a lot more detail for you exactly what we do week by week to help ensure that these athletes are able to maximize their experience at Solon High School.